Greetings. Hello, everybody. Close the door. Greetings. This is a video on what I have learned from my mental illness. I'm going to be talking about psychotic breaks. I'm going to be talking about the times when I felt suicidal. I'm going to be talking about the part that my brain opened up, the part of the brain that opened up. It's hard, how do I say this? When I got mentally ill, a part of my brain got opened up that was very creative and highly intuitive. And I'm going to talk about that. And let's get on with it. When I recovered from the mental illness, I started taking meds, risperidol, and I started instantly feeling more coherent, like I was learning to live again. It was literally like I was just trying to walk again and just, learning to be coherent again. And I got into that, and I just became myself again, and it was wild. And then when I got into the psychotic breaks, before I was medicated, when I was getting into the psychotic breaks, I was on the way to the mental hospital, and I was opening up the car door saying, I'm going to jump out if you take me to this mental hospital, because I literally didn't think I was insane. And on the first one, I thought I was just going crazy. And I didn't know if I was going crazy. I thought, am I going crazy or am I not? And I thought, that is the scariest feeling that any human can ever experience, whether you don't know if you're going sane or insane in that moment. And I was holding my mom's hand and on the way in the car, and I just didn't know if I was sane or insane. And I was taking these pills, and I was laughing with my buddy in the mental hospital, just saying, man, I don't know if I'm sane or insane, and it's the weirdest feeling in the world. And it was single-handedly the weirdest feeling I've ever experienced in my whole life. And then there were people in there. One kid had a claw for a hand because he was a crack baby. And I won't give any names. And I made friends with him. He drew me a drawing, and it was very scary. I cried myself to sleep that whole night. Not the whole night, but just cried myself to sleep. And then there was another kid named... I'm not giving any names, but there was another kid who would cry all the time, and that was interesting. And he said that he cried blood one time, and he would cry blood sometimes. It was very bizarre. And then there were girls in there that were crying, that were rape victims, that were pregnant. There were girls that drank bleach. There were girls that just had done meth or inhaled, what's that called? Those dusters that you dust desks with. And it was just crazy times, crazy stuff. And then I met kids that tried hanging themselves, and kids that would try and get high from putting a tire on their neck and then choking themselves to try and get high. And I met kids that tried cutting themselves to kill themselves, and I was even trying to cut myself to feel alive. I have scars on my arm. Here, I don't know if it's visible, but yeah, just stuff like that. And then it was crazy times. And then I'll never forget those times. And I met girls that, I met people that had schizophrenia and voices in their head really aggressively telling them to kill people. And I met a girl who had two demons in her head, Jacob and Emily, and they told her to kill her sister and put paint in her sister's eyes and stuff. Very brutal stuff. Just horrible. And then there was kids that would try and get high from in the hospital because they heard that there was like orange peels mixed with toothpaste got you high, so they tried to do that while I was in their rooms with them. I heard a rumor that someone had hanged themselves in the room that I was staying in, and in the shower curtain, from the shower curtain. It's just brutal stuff. So those were the experiences that I had. And then kids that smashed their mom's head in with a brick. Kids that took a baseball bat and smashed all the car windows with it for no reason. Just brutal stuff. And then now I'm going to talk about the part of my brain that got opened up when I started becoming mentally ill. When I was mentally ill, I started feeling this sudden urgency that the world needed to be this paradise, just like this total heaven on earth. And I would just dream of heaven from my windowsill, just mentally ill. And just often I would just say, like, am I the one who is insane, or is everyone else insane? And it was wild times. And so I looked up to John Lennon a lot, even Gandhi and all that, and Mother Teresa, and I wanted just so badly for everything to be okay. And I thought, I can't find peace within myself, so why don't I try and find it in the world and just create it in the world? And so ever since then, I think it opened up a part of my brain that made me believe that the world should be a paradise, and that I've just been creating this art and this music that just evokes this beautiful world. So yeah, I'm just going to keep doing that, and hopefully people will notice and see. And then yeah, that's about it. So I hope I retained your attention, and I hope that I kept you guys interested. So I'll see you guys later. I know everybody's been wanting me to talk about the mental experiences and the psychotic breaks. I can talk a little bit more about the psychotic break. I ran in the middle of the night. I would go like 3 days at a time without sleeping, and in the middle of the night, it was on my third day of not sleeping. I would hear voices and stuff, and I just had this urge to go through the wilderness, because I live in the mountain area, and I just had this urge in it's like a desert area, and so I had this urge to just walk through the desert in the middle of the night, and just crazy stuff. I had a Bible in my hand and a knife, and I wound up at this random person's house in the middle of the night, and the cops came, and it was just crazy. Luckily, I have a clean record, but yeah. All right. Well, I will see you guys later. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for everything. Thank you for, just having enough attention to just go through these videos and just bring awareness to mental illness. I'm not a bad person. Never have been. I've always been a threat to myself. And I know there are mentally ill people that are a threat to others, but a lot of people that are a threat to others don't mean it, and they don't want to be a threat to others. And if they are, it's very rare. And most people are just a threat to themselves. So I'm hoping that I can just erase a bunch of stigmatism with this mental illness. I was never homicidal. I was always suicidal. And the people that you hear in the news that are mentally ill and they're crazy and that cause school shootings and all that, they are completely homicidal, and it's very rare from my experience. These people that I've met that have done these things that are a threat towards others, they're usually a threat towards themselves. And I can say that with a clean conscience. Most of these people were just absolutely in turmoil with themselves. So I'll see you guys later. Peace. Also, one more thing. On a side note, when I was first getting mentally ill, I went up into this room in my house upstairs, and I thought, okay, I need to find the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? So I ran upstairs. I would lock myself up there for like 3 days at a time, not eat, not sleep. I weighed like 140 pounds. I was just looked like a Holocaust victim. And I just found the meaning of life to me. I found my personal meaning of life. And the meaning of life to me was to spend my entire life getting rid of the world's problems until the world became a paradise and there was nothing to worry about. And that was it. Like, that was the meaning of life for me. And, you know, who knows? And that's just for me. You know, that's not for anybody else. But, you know, if I can spread the message and spread awareness, like, and if I help people, you know, might be worth it to share. So I just thought I'd say that as an end of the video. All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace.